Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today is a little less of a video and more of a big announcement. I am on Kindle Vella. I have looked at the platform, and at first I wasn't really sure if I wanted to try it or not, but I've heard enough people talk about it and say that they liked it, and I think actually, now that I'm kind of looked at it, I think it works very well for me. My story is called Through the Portal. This is a novel that I started about a year ago and got pretty deep into it, like 30,000 words or so, about 13 chapters, I believe. And then I just kind of put off to the side because I was writing a lot of short stories. It's about the time when I wrote Nadja the Witch Warrior and wrote a lot of those, and then the story got published, and now there's an interest in publishing more of those stories. And so I was kind of shifting more over to short stories and stuff. And so that's why, even though I've been writing really this entire time, you probably haven't seen much of my publications because I haven't been publishing as much. Well, now with Kindle Vella, I can do that. Through the Portal is, as you might imagine, it's a portal story. It's very reminiscent of Den of Neverwhere. That was one of my inspirations. I actually did a video about that time. A little bit of John Carter of Mars. And so, I decided, let's just put this out there. Because I have about half of a book written. So let's start putting it out on Kindle Vella. And then I can just kind of keep writing and publishing as we go, which I'm really kind of excited about because I like writing and I like publishing. And one of the things I don't like about writing novels is that there's this long gap of months of where I'm just working on the same thing and really nothing new is kind of coming out. Because I don't really have the time to write a novel a month like some people do, or a novel a week in some cases. And so, it takes me a little while to get stuff out. So with Kindle Vella, I can kind of publish as I write. You get to see the story evolve as I'm writing it. It will take place over many months, maybe years. I don't know. I haven't really figured that out. And that's kind of one of the things that's kind of cool about Kindle Vella is it can be like a TV show that it just keeps going. You can even have seasons, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't like the idea of just having one long continuous story with no resolution, and so much like a TV show where they have a story arc that follows a season, and then that story arc ends, and then a new one starts, at some other point, follows maybe the same characters in the same world or something along those lines. But the reader kind of gets to see the end of storylines. One of the things I think that kind of helped the TV show Lost was they did that. They had this ongoing storyline, but they never really seemed like they actually resolved anything. Even in the very last episode, they still just inserted more questions without resolving anything. And so I kind of like that. But with Kindle Vella, I can kind of just keep pushing stuff out. For you, the reader, and this is probably one of the bigger things about this announcement too, is that all Kindle Vella stories, you can read the first 3 episodes for free. You don't even have to sign up for anything. You can just go to Kindle Vella. If you look up my name, type in Cliff Hamrick in the search, and Through the Portal is one of the stories that will pop up. And the first 3 chapters are already up. That's one of the reasons why I kind of delayed the announcement. My first episode went up last Monday or last Friday, I think. I can't remember. So I've actually been on Kindle Vella for a little over a week, but I wanted to wait until the first 3 episodes are up so you can sit down and kind of read the whole thing. And then new episodes will come out every Monday. So today is actually Sunday, May 1st, and so the next episode 4, will come out Monday, May 2nd, tomorrow. Those you do have to pay for, but with right now, Kindle Vella, if you just sign up, and maybe this is just what they're going to do for the future. If you sign up now, then you get 200 tokens or keys or whatever they call them for free, just for signing up. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you can use those keys to unlock future episodes. Right now, what Kindle Vella is telling me, my episodes will cost about 20 to 25 keys to unlock. So you get to read the first 3 for free. If you sign up, you get 200 keys if mine are running about 20 keys per thing, that means you can actually read the whole first half of through the portal for free before you even have to like spend any money whatsoever. So take advantage of that. Then once you start buying more keys or tokens, I forget what they call them, then you can unlock more features and that sort of thing. But I think that's one of the really great things about Kindle Vella for readers is that you get to read like the first 3 episodes for free. That's much better than the look inside feature of books on Kindle or Kindle Unlimited. You don't get to read that much of a book in those books. You kind of only get like maybe the first half of a chapter. I'm not really exactly certain how they calculate that. And so now you kind of get to see a little bit of like where this story is going, if it's going anywhere, and then decide if you want to, start paying for episodes and see what happens next and that sort of thing. So I think that's one of the really good things for readers on Kindle Vella is you do get kind of access to a lot of free material before you're even expected to, spend a single dime on it. And then, I think this notion of episodic releases is a very old one as well. The John Carter of Mars, Tarzan, I think Sherlock Holmes, I think a lot of Charles Dickenson's work. For a long time, that was how stories were released. Most people didn't buy novels. A novel was too expensive to produce, and too few people one could afford it or read it that much. And novels were sort of kind of at the time considered like hoity-toity, elitist type sort of thing. The Pulp Fiction style of novels of detectives solving mysteries or a guy raised by apes in the middle of African jungle. That wasn't what the hoity-toity people wanted to read. At least they didn't want to admit that they would read. And so what a lot of magazines would do is they would publish a chapter, an episode, or a chapter, an issue for the magazine, and that lasted for until like the 50s or so. I have a magazine of mystery stories with one has Mickey Spillane, and it's the first chapter of one of his stories. And so that was how it worked. Is for a long time you didn't buy a novel and sit down and read the whole novel. You got chapters as you went along. And then if you weren't interested in the story anymore, maybe if it went off on some different tangent or it turned into something that you really weren't interested in, well, you just stopped buying those magazines. Or maybe you buy those magazines, but you read the other stuff. And in a way, that's kind of what Kindle Vella is like, too, is you can read the first 3 chapters, and that gives you a good idea of where the story is going. And then after that, you're buying each episode singly. And then if the story turns into something that you don't like, well, you just stop spending your tokens on that story. And there are more and more people jumping on Kindle all the time. And so if you don't like Portal Through the Portal by Cliff Hamrick, then there's bound to be something else out there that you like too. I've seen pretty much all the genres there for now. I mean, all the sort of like entertainment genres. So there's some romance, there's erotica, science fiction, a lot of dystopian. I do not think I'm going to put my future Saga the Scout series on Kindle Vella, mainly because the first book is not on Kindle Vella, and I think that would be kind of weird for Kindle Vella readers to jump in with a new book and they don't have access to the first book. And you're not allowed to, for you writers, you're not allowed to take your current books and chop them up into episodes and put them on Kindle Vella. They kind of want Kindle Vella to be its own separate thing. Now, what you can do for you writers is you can write something on Kindle Vella and then turn into a book and do something else with it. And there's some rules on how that works, but that is something that you can do, and I will probably do that because there will probably be some people who will never do the Vella thing. It's sort of like there are some people who love Netflix. They don't. They like getting all the episodes in one shot, so they can just binge read them or binge watch them in this case, and they don't want to have to wait. Whereas there are some other people who like sort of the Disney Plus, where they put out an episode a week, kind of like a regular TV show. There's 8 to 10 episodes or something like that. I don't remember. I don't really watch Disney Plus. But it's a little bit more like your old-timey TV shows, where every Monday at 7, Barney Miller is on, and you watch Barney Miller. That tells you how old I am. You probably don't know what Barney Miller is. Or Star Trek, that sort of thing. So if you are okay with the episodic sort of storytelling, then Kindle Vella is great. Because you can act, and if you're this type like me who likes to read multiple books at the same time, then you can do that, because you can buy episodes as they come out and read them, and then read all the different ones and that sort of thing. Or you can do like what some people do, is they get on Disney Plus when when the entire season is put out, and then they just buy a month's worth, and then they just watch all the episodes and binge watch them and that sort of thing. And you can do that with Kindle Vella too. You can wait until you can get online, you can read the first 3 chapters, decide, yeah, this is pretty cool, but I'm going to wait until there's like 10 chapters out, and then I'll just buy all the other ones and read them all at once. So in my mind, Kindle Vella kind of scratches both itches, really. It lets you do the episodic thing if you want. It also lets you just binge watch if you want as well. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, Through the Portal by Cliff Hamrick. It's a science fantasy story. The features Stephen Jensen, who receives a strange, almost impossible message while visiting his grandfather's home, and that leads him to a series of strange discoveries, and which of course there's a portal, and then he ends up somewhere else, and I'll let you kind of read through that to find out what happens. But anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye.